Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Red Hot Racing League Truck Series. Tonight we visit the dirt tracks, and tonight we're going to see the trucks at Eldora. It's going to be one heck of a show. Eldora, one of my personal favorite tracks. I actually got the privilege of racing it just about, I think it was Tuesday this week in another league, and it was pretty fun racing. So we're going to see, it's a very small track, and it's going to have a lot of tight quarter racing, but you also got to manage, the other cars around you and how these guys are going to drive through the dirt. It's going to be very difficult for them, but I'm going to turn it over to Abyss for a quick reading of our Circle B diecast starting lineups. Abyss?
Thank you, Gavin. Again, here are the starting lineups for our Circle B diecast. Ones to watch. I'm not really one to watch. I'm just saying stuff now. I'm kind of stupid. It's been a rough day. Starting 22nd will be Horatio. Starting 21st will be Banana. So I'm going to go with 21st. So no, 20th will be Ray. I'm just gonna go RGR. Sorry, JR. 19th will be T Glass. 18th will be Drew. 17th will be Track Bar. 17th will be JGR Fan. 16th will be Bombin. Sorry. 14th will be Titanfall. 13th will be Rise. 12th will be Zero. I'm just looking at my phone in weird ways now. 11th will be Grams. 10th will be I'm gonna have to say Ideal Fungus. 9th will be Lord Billis. 8th will be Gamers. 7th will be ADRKO. The man starting 7th will be Mr. Slyjob. Gamer starting 4th. Starting 3rd is Mick Winning. Oh, sorry, MW Wright, sorry. I don't know, I said Mick Winning. Starting 2nd is Asylums. And the man that got his first win of the season, I believe, last week is Trippy Tricks Gavin.
Yeah, a lot of tough competitors here at the Dirt Oval Eldora. It's going to be some action-packed racing. It's going to look great out here as we're going to see a lot of tight action going on. You might even see three wide at some points. This track's so unpredictable. So many things can go so many different ways for these drivers. But what I'm looking forward to is to see how dirty these trucks get, because these trucks, Abyss, are going to be covered in mud by the end of this race. We know it. That this track, especially at the time of night that we're racing, this track's going to have mud slinging everywhere, and it's going to be a mess, I think, at the end here. But we'll see what happens at the end. When I got a few guys on my mind who I think might be in for the win, but a lot of unpredictable things can happen at a track like this, so you never know. You never count your chickens before they hatch. But maybe someone will surprise us tonight. Like you said, Trippy Tricks on the pole. He's known to be good here at a track like Eldora. Typically, one of his tracks that he really is successful at. And, he's really good at short tracks as well. And for him to be good on dirt and short tracks, that's something that you can mash together. And then you have Eldora, which is a short track and a dirt track. So it's going to be good for him especially. And you got some heavy hitters like, I believe, Track Bar somewhere in the field towards the back starting tonight. And Word Burton also, who we know is... been really fast almost everywhere. I mean, you can't count Word out at all anywhere. So, about to go green this time, Abyss. It's looking like it's going to be a fun showing of some truck racing action tonight. And I'm so excited for this weekend. We got Dover tomorrow. Eldora, though, right now is really going to be a fun race. One of those wild card races. You never know what's going to happen, and you're always going to see action. And I know a lot of our guys are going to love some dirt track racing. It's going to be fun, Abyss.
Yes, indeed, as here they come to the line. Trippy Tricks and Asylum will lead us green here. They come off a turn 4. When will Trippy go? Here he comes. We are green at Eldora going into turn 1. Little slow right there. Looks like Asylums will get into second as we have a little bit of sliding action in the back. But right now, Trippy out to a fantastic lead as cars are going 2 and 3 wide further on back. Little contact from BMW and the 2 car, but I forget who that is now. But little contact there as they go into turn two. Oh, it's a slide job. Sorry, little contact there between those two as they're 3 wide coming from turn 2 into turn 3 as Trippy continues to pull away, Gavin.
Yeah, Trippy doing really good here early. This is really a rhythm track, I would say, Abyss, because I know that a track like this, you're not going to gain a ton of time fast, and you're not going to lose a ton of time fast. So it's really about being smooth and steady throughout these corners and keeping your truck under you. You don't want to slide too much. You don't want to slide too little. You want to just keep the truck balanced. And there's a big wreck off of 4, I believe. Oh my goodness, it's a road jam. We get to catch that last second. I just flipped to it, and it looks like about 6 cars blocked the track. Good thing Tower called a caution there, because there would be no way to get through that. Oh my gosh. 5 or 6 cars block the track, Abyss. I mean, we're already seeing what this track holds.
Yes, indeed. Right now, you're gonna see that all night long, because pretty much once one truck goes around, they are all kind of just jammed in there to where it's gonna be hard to pretty much miss a wreck almost. And that's what you gotta be scared of if you're the leader as well, because if a car goes around in front of you and you're trying to lap them, that's gonna catch you up and get you some damage, and that could probably screw you for the rest of this race, because how important track position is, Gavin.
Yeah, track position extremely important here. I believe Trippy Trick's still up front. He's got Slide Job to worry about on his outside, who we know is really good here. I believe he won a race here in another league just earlier, 1 or 2 weeks ago, so look for him to maybe have something here, as he's right on the bumper of the 50. Really hard battling up front already, but you see back towards the middle of the pack. I'm going to try to get back there. It looks like a car went around. That might have been track bar. We'll see if we can get to it here.
Yes, it is. I'm kind of looking to the back of this field right now, seeing all the little bumping and banging, scooting and booting right now. Not many friends in the back of this pack right now. A couple trucks are even hitting the walls coming off of turn 2. I think their setup's not where they want it. Ooh, as a Silence goes nose first into turn number 3. Ooh, as the 45 goes into the wall too. 2 cars into the wall. It will be Horatio went to the wall. Yeah, this is an interesting feat right now.
Yeah, it's really tough. I mean, you don't really have to worry about pitting. Your tires don't really matter here. Your gas is limitless here. I mean, there's no pit road. It kind of sucks that there isn't. I wish there was. That'd be pretty fun to see. Pit strategy at a track like this would be pretty hectic. But somebody lags out. We're going to get a look at who that is if we can. It looks like M. Wright, if we can get to it here and confirm. Yes, M. Wright is lagged out. Unfortunate end to his night. He was running top 5, Abyss. That's unfortunate that you'll see a top 5 competitor early in this race lag out. Not something that you want to see if you're M. Wright, especially, who is fighting hard for these playoffs here that are just right around the corner. But here we go. About to go green again. Tricks on the bottom. And it looks like 25 laps remaining in the first stage. Slide Job kind of misses the corner. Maybe he's trying to set many up. The 10 gets loose and hits Gamers blazing up the track. And it looks like Trippy Trick's going to protect the bottom. Slide Job with the boot basically just drives through him there. I mean, I don't think Trippy Trick's going to be too happy about that. Look for the attack to be back on the rear bumper of Slide Job here. As it looks like Trippy Trick's going to return the favor. And Trippy Trick's wrecks. That's going to be the field. Oh, 34's around as well, back the field.
A truck is flipping.
And it looks like
caution. There it is.
I was about to say, that had to have been a caution there, Abyss. I mean, these truck drivers are being super aggressive today. I don't know if it's just the element of dirt racing itself or what, but I think some guys need to tone it down. Or being way too aggressive way too early in this race. I mean, you can't win a stage on lap 3. I mean, there's just nothing. There's no chance. You don't win a stage on the first 5 laps. You win it on the white flag, and these guys are just going at it for no reason this early. So hopefully we see a cleanup of the aggressiveness here and get some green flag racing. That would be something to see. But back up front, though, Abyss, I believe Slide Job is currently our leader, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll see if anyone has anything for him. He just got there, so We'll see if he can hold on to his lead. Trippy
As
Trick's going
here
to
we
start on the
go.
outside though, Abyss. Here we go.
It's going to be a little retaliation. Here we go. The top two will be starting us off. It'll be Trippy and Mr. Slido as they go into turn number 1 and come out of turn number 2. Looks like he's still going to be there on the outside. Great exit off of turn 2. Here they go into turn 3. Will he have another great run? Ooh, looks like Slido's going to probably slide up a little bit trying to close the door. What will Trippy do in return? Oh, he's going to give him a little bit of a nose, a little bit of push off to the corner. Ooh, Trippy's there on the inside. I think he'll take the lead going into turn 3, coming out of turn 4, as Trippy will lead this lap gap.
Yeah, a lot of heavy contact up front. The 50 and the 2 not being friendly to each other already, and that might persist throughout this race. We know the 2 is an aggressive driver, and he's showing it right now. He's diving it deep into the corner and running the 50 up the track. I mean, these two guys just beating and banging, trading paint, and you know just as well as I do, that equipment, your team owners are not going to like that, and your pit crew isn't going to like that when they come home and come back to the shop next week and see a torn up race truck. So you're just going to have to hopefully just put that beef to the side and try your best to keep the equipment safe. But these two just continuing to beat and bang. You see it down the front stretch of this. They're beating and banging down the front stretch. I mean, it's just too early, in my opinion, to be doing all this. But here they are, the 2 and the 50, continuing to trade paint, and maybe even more than paint, because they tear up the sheet metal on these trucks.
Well, here comes Mr. Trackmore, the 24, as Mr. Slidejaw, actually that's Trippy, finally gets a little space between him and Mr. Slidejob now, but here comes the 24, as this lead has just been, I would say, competitive as all of get-go since Mr. Slidejob. Ooh, here comes Strackmore to the lead, a little bumping and bang, and now what will Trippy do? Will he try to fill the hole, maybe make it 3 wide going into turn 1? I don't think so. He's going to follow Trackmore, but Slidejob is making sure he's making contact wherever he goes, as he tries to make it 3 wide into turn 1, as he does. And he wrecks Trippy.
Big wreck there. Unfortunately, the over-aggressiveness of Mr. Slidejob there, that's going to create a wreck. I don't know if there is a caution. It doesn't look like there is, but Mr. Trackbar is gone now. He's got a lot of a lead, and it looks like yellow flag is going to fly here, Abyss. Yes,
indeed. But, guys, this is some interesting racing. Mr. Slidejob did not want to give up that lead, Gavin. He really wanted to protect that, because I believe he is going for points. And we only have about how many races left into the playoffs?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's 2 or 3 left until the playoffs. Including this one, it is 3. So, I mean, these guys got to do whatever they can to boost themselves. And as you can see, maybe an act of desperation from Mr. Slidejob, even though I don't think he needs to be desperate here. I mean, he's sitting pretty good in the standings, at least from what I thought. He's sitting 4th in the standings, so there's no reason for the over-aggressiveness. Same thing with the 50 there, but the 50, if I'm the 50, I gotta do what he's doing to me. If he's just gonna run me up the track and be disrespectful and not race you clean, I think you gotta return the favor sometimes. I mean, that's just something that just can't be excused, and I know that Trippy Tricks is fuming about that, being raced like that, and you just hate to see it early. It's normal for it to be done at the end of the race, but not this early, guys. But Trackbar's still out in front. He's going to continue to lead here in that Hooters Night Owl Chevrolet Silverado, and I believe behind him he's got the 10 car. And I got to see. Let's see.
It's Word Burton in the 10, followed by
that is Word Burton in the 10,
followed by Mr. Slidejob, which is now kind of content to now running 3rd in all of this after that little incident on the last set of green flag laps, as I believe we have, I think, under 10 laps to go in this stage. 7 to go in this stage. Hey, I was right about under 10 to go as they keep clicking down laps. Right now, Mr. Trackbar is kind of just doing his own thing, hitting his rhythm, Gavin.
Yeah, Mr. Trackbar really showing you how it's done right now, but he's got a guy back there with a piece under him, and that's Word Burton in the 10, chasing down the 24, and then you got a lot of hungry competitors behind him that are racing for points. Mr. Slidejob running 3rd right now, and the rest of the field chasing down our leader, Mr. Track Bar. And you know, right now it looks like Tim is closing the gap, but it's not going to be enough right now as we wind down. I believe coming to 5 laps to go. We'll see what what happens here, but it looks like Track Bar, man, he's got this truck dialed in. He's really hitting his marks and keeping it smooth and steady, and that might be just what wins him the race here for stage 1. We'll have to see what he's got, but right behind him, the 10 of Word Burton takes it a little high, might have tapped the wall there, but Mr. Track Bar continuing to lead and be out front of this.
Well, right now I'm kind of watching Tim, and I'm seeing where Track Bar is kind of going and leaving. Right now it seems like Word is entering the corner much differently than Track Bar. The Track Bar kind of lets the truck kind of go up the track coming out of the corners, as Word kind of controls it a little bit more. I think Tim is going to have some trouble turning the car, maybe as a Track Bar is not really having to turn the truck that much to make it go as fast and hit his rhythms. That might be the difference between these two trucks right now, as we are hitting to, I believe, 3 to go in the stage, coming to 2 to go. Oh, coming to white, my bad. I'm losing track of time right now as we come to 1 to go. As the first lap car is in view, will not play a factor in the stage, as Mr. Track Bar, it's Track Bar, I don't know, as it will be him to win stage 1, and Word will come in and finish stage 2, Gavin.
Yeah, Track Bar getting right to the line now, and it's going to be Track Bar stage 1 winner. Fought his way, I believe, all the way from the tail end of the field with Word Burton. And ironically, the two guys that start last and second to last will end up finishing first and second in stage 1. And you got to know Trippy Tricks is going to be coming back with a full head of steam, because he knows he has a piece for this track, but he just got absolutely murdered earlier in this race, and sadly got the short end of the stick. That's unfortunate for him, but he'll wind up 7th, still get some stage points, but he definitely knows that he could have got more out of it. So we'll see what he brings to the table here for stage 2. But right now, you know, your two best competitors, and you even can throw Trippy in there. I think right now you got Word and Track Bar right now is probably going to be your battle for the lead until Trippy can reassert himself. And Mr. Slyjob also could be painted in the picture, because he is also very, very quick here. Just got to tone down the aggressiveness, and Abyss, you know just as well as I do, that aggressiveness might come back to bite him in future tracks, and something you don't want to see, and something you don't want to do as a driver, really. I mean, you don't want to be desperate unless you actually have to be, and I just don't understand. Maybe it's just the way the track is driven, but T-Glass right now is our leader. He's got a little bit of a nose on Slyjob.
Who as Slyjob will give him a little bit of a tire there, I guess, going into turn 3. He's going to shove it in there. He's going to door T-Glass. Man, Mr. Slyjob is very, very aggressive tonight. I don't know why. He's very safe in the points. I don't think he really needs to be this aggressive, but he really is, as he defends the lead away from a T-Glass here. As I'm pretty sure once Trippy gets back up here, it's going to be a fun battle for those two. But right now, T-Glass trying to take the lead away as the laps start to slowly click down. I believe it's like a 45 laps stage, if I'm not wrong, 46 lap stage, so they do have a long time, so they got to be a little bit patient here. But T-Glass is going right for a gap, but not to turn 4.
Yeah, and as you've seen, Abyss, patience has been thrown out the window, and it has been since lap 1. T-Glass lags bad there. That's going to be the field, probably going to be a yellow there. You see a lot of cars stacked up. Unfortunately, lag can be a problem, and it's showing its nasty head here today with lag just killing the field. He's still lagging. Oh my goodness. He was on the back stretch and just teleported up to the front stretch. That connection needs fixed. Oh my goodness, that was terrible.
He goes.
I hope that's a yellow.
He's using the cheat codes, Gavin.
I don't know what he put into that truck, but it teleported from the back stretch to the front stretch, Abyss. I've never seen a car do that before, and it's just, oh my gosh. Someone's got to tell him that internet connection is not it. But back up front for the lead, we got the 2 up in front right now, and it looks like we got some lap cars that unfortunately got collected. So unfortunately, some guys are going to be probably going a lap down here soon, and you hate to see it, Abyss, because that really wasn't their fault that the 54 was lagging, but you just can't help it sometimes. You know, internet can be such a touchy thing, and I know just as well as you know this. It's sometimes just lag rears its nasty head, and it has here today, and it murdered a lot of people, and you just hate to see it. But they're now battling for the top spot, and they got lap cars in front that could play a factor. You got the 2 and the 54 riding around up front. They're your two leaders right now. We're riding on board with the number 2 Chevrolet of Mr. Slidejob. He is coming up on Fabico Gamer, who is about to go a lap down. I believe Fabico Gamer Abyss got collected in that nasty wreck earlier, so maybe he can recover and show his speed. We know Fabico's a great all-around racer, but right now Slidejob commanding the show.
Speed about that lag, you can never tell when someone's about to lag. It's just a victim of a victim here. So right now, all those guys like are wanting a caution, but the game didn't really, I would say, notice that the other car was lagging. So it just that one car was spinning and just multiple cars like that. So it didn't cause a caution. That's why you're seeing it still go green. But I've been the man lagging. I've been the man affected by it's never fun either way. But the fact that T-Glass's lag has kind of fixed itself, I think, is kind of interesting. As Fabico will go a lap down without fight. The question is, who will be the next car, and will they bring a bigger fight to Mr. Slidejob, Gavin?
Yeah, I mean, you never know what is going to unfold here at Eldora, and we've seen just about everything early in this race. I mean, we're only in stage 2, and there's lots of laps to be ran. But Slidejob's still up front. Does the 54 have anything for him? We'll have to see, because these two guys were battling pretty close earlier, and, now they got a little bit of space in between them. But if you look at the top of your screen, Mr. Trackbar has made his way to 3rd now, and he is not showing any signs of slowing down. So these front two got to be concerned. I mean, this 24 is going extremely fast around Eldora tonight, and if you're the 2, I mean, you look back in your mirror, you see the 24 getting bigger and bigger each lap. I mean, what is going to run through your head when you see a guy like Trackbar right there in your mirror? I mean, he is catching exponentially right now and closing the gap every single lap, Abyss.
You try to overcorrect everything you're doing. That's pretty much what T-Glass is trying to do, is find a way to keep this man behind, this 24 behind you. Because, if he gets past you, that you're most likely not going to see that position back. But it looks like T-Glass knows he can't do anything, so Mr. Trackbar would take over second. But T-Glass, wise and smart move. Now the question is, what will the man in first do? What will Mr. Slidejob do? Because that's the battle I want to see. What is he going to do to defend against Trackbar? Because he has not been the best car to pass all day long. So this battle's about to heat up, Gavin. This could be interesting.
Yeah, the battle is definitely about to heat up. You see Trackbar is quickly closing in. I figured as T-Glass would let Trackbar around, he would try to stay. He's going to try to stay with these two, and maybe he'll be able to snag a spot when Trackbar gets to the inside of the 2, as the 2's going to aggressively block. Kind of chops off the nose a little bit. You're not going to like that if you're Mr. Trackbar, but we know Mr. Trackbar's got something in that car that is just super quick. I mean, he is just going around this track at blazing speeds. You know just as well as I do, Abyss. He's definitely going to make this battle for the lead interesting. It's just for Mr. Slidejob, how long can you hang on, and can you hold off the best racer in NASCAR heat? I mean, you know what I mean? That's just something you got to think about. You got one of the best to ever do it right behind you. How are you going to hold him off? I mean, it's just a task that is extremely tough. It might not be impossible, but here he comes. He's going to make the battle interesting. Here comes Trackbar to the inside. They're door-to-door in turn number 2, now up on the backstretch side by side. The 24 of Mr. Trackbar and the 2 of Mr. Slidejob. Coming to 26 laps to go. The 24 clears him for now, but can Slidejob get back underneath and try to reverse what was just done? The lead has been stolen from Mr. Slidejob. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it, as it looks like Trackbar just has that steady pace that everyone is looking for right now. He is just extremely fast around this track, and he's continuing to extend his gap right now. And if you're Mr. Slidejob, you're in arm's reach right now, but you don't want to let him slip away. And what it looks like now is that Mr. Trackbar is just slipping away ever so slightly of this.
Yes, indeed. I was about to say, hopefully he maybe watched some footage and learned some things from, I would say, Mr. Trackbar's best rival, Lucky Dog. I would say if you could take some lessons from Dan, you could maybe do anything to beat Track Bar, but right now looks like those lessons didn't go to well. Those videos didn't go well for him right now, as Track Bar just continues to dominate in anything he drives as of today. But right now he's gaining on lap traffic. That could also change a factor in who finishes where in the stage, as the top three are still within a good 2 to 3 seconds of each other. So that does play a very big factor when it comes to lap traffic, Gavin.
Yeah, and it looks like we got another lap car in the mix, maybe a few. It looks like the 16, the 20's up there, and I believe that's the 13. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like it is. It might be. It looks like Bauman is up there in the 13. The 20 is being piloted by JGR Fan, and then the 16, you got Material Zero. So these next three guys are going to be in the same position Slide Job is, except for it's for a lap, not the lead. And either way, it's just as important, because you don't want to go a lap down here. This track is very tough to pass at. It's a very hard track to drive. It's very slick. You're going to want to try to hold on to your lap, but you got to hold off the best in the business right now, and that's going to be something to do, as Mr. Track Bar might be trying a new line. It looked like in 3 and 4 he just ran the high side completely all the way around. 88 Rex on the bottom. That's Graham's tank right there. He's going to go a lap down. But look at this, Track Bar closing in on these 3 lap cars. Lord Bill is slow on the high side there. Coming down to 19 to go. It looks like Lord Billis is going to fall a lap down, but look at the minefield abyss that Track Bar has to go through. How is he going to do it?
He's going to have to hold third. Just going to be nice or just move out of the way. But as we speak, every lap car he's going to have to deal with, and just going to, as never mind, as he just goes right through them, as everyone just does not want to be in Mr. and Track Bar's way. It's just going to be finding the right line to get past them all, or just hope they see you coming and just move out of the way, as pretty much the battle for the lead is really not there anymore, but we're still going to keep an eye on it, because that could change at any moment. Because again, one lap car could change everything about this race right in front of Track Bar, Gavin.
Yeah, Track Bar now tracking down Bauman. He's right in front of him there. That's another lapper. Drew LMAO, he wrecked out of, I believe, the top 5 there. He must have been in the top 5 last time we looked, and he just wrecked. You see him up there in that bright pink and yellow 48 car. And I believe Rise is up there as well on the 4. You got Grams, who might go 2 laps down here. It looks like he's having a rough time. But Track Bar now worried about these 2 lap cars. He's going to put Grams 2 laps down now, and the 13 is going to finally give up the battle, and Track Bar is going to move on to the next bit of cars, which is the 48 of Drew LMAO and the 4 of Rise. So he's got to really dial it in and get these guys up in front of him. He's got enough time to do it, and you know he can, but will Track Bar be able to get past these 2 who are running double file right now of this? I mean, they're just side by side. They're running 2 different lines. Can Track Bar find a way to maneuver through like he did those other lap cars earlier in this segment?
Well, say he does have a luxury of a big gap, so he does have a little bit of patience he can use. But right now, those cars are kind of separated, as he got into, I believe that's Rise right there in the 4 truck. So he can just kind of work his way slowly through the lap traffic. That's the methodical way to do it at dirt tracking. It's just to slowly pick everything off one by one, or else you're probably going to wreck yourself and make a caution doing so. So it's not really going to help you if you just send it to every single corner. Watch what the lap car is doing, and just make sure that you can either counter what they're going to do to try to block you, or just do your best and just kind of chill out right now, because he's on cloud 9 right now, Gavin. He's just kind of chilling in the lead, just passing cars whenever he wants on the high lane or the bottom lane, Gavin.
Yeah, and that's just a part of being one of the greatest to do it in this game. I mean, Track Bar, you know, has it dialed in. You know what he knows what he's doing, and I mean, he's gonna easily, looks like, get by the 48 here. Maybe not just yet. They're still side by side. Drew LMAO is gonna try to put up a fight, but Track Bar is just so fast, Abyss. I mean, it's like nobody can stand in his way right now, and he's gonna get by the 48, but the 48 is gonna try to do a crossover on him to get that lap back. And it looks like he's not going to be able to do it, but they're still side by side. Track Bar having a little bit of trouble with this 24. They get a little bit in contact there. Now he's going to maneuver past the 3, which is 80 Arco. So a lot of cars up here, lappers, that are going to play a huge factor in Track Bar's way now. He's got Fabico Gamer, and then after that, I believe it's Fungus Gamer is blazing. And I believe up there, it looks like the 40. That might be Air Just Cuz, if I'm not mistaken. That's what it looks like. But
well, as we're
here
doing
comes
all
Track
this,
Bar.
Gavin, at the battle for second, Ward Burton has slowly found his way up into the third position and is gaining on Mr. Slidejob here as he's dealing with a bunch of lap traffic that I don't think like him as much with how aggressive Slidejob has been racing this entire night, Gavin.
Yeah, the aggressive racing, like I told you earlier, definitely going to bite him in the rear. But, like you said, here it is. This is the premier battle right now for second. Ward Burton chasing down that 2 of Mr. Slidejob, who looks to get a little too close to the wall and gets a little antsy there. Now we got lap cars all around. This could be calamity or it could be great for the number 10 of Ward Burton, who really is chasing down this 2, running those steady laps just like Track Bar is. Maybe Ward picked it up that the best way to do it is to run them steady laps. Right now, 5 laps remaining, and right here the battle for second heating up as the lap car stands right in the way of Mr. Slidejob, and that allows Ward Burton to get to the inside of him here, and they're now going to be too wide. They're going to touch a little bit. That's not going to matter, though. They both keep it straight, and it looks like the 2 is going to stay right in front of the 10. The 2 dives it in deep, but the 10 is going to look for that steady entry, and that's going to gain him all that time back. Battle continues to be waged for second, Abyss.
Yes, indeed. I'm watching Mr. Slidejob, and he's hitting that inside wall, which he is losing so much momentum when he hits it. It's just at a crawling speed. But I think he's finally learned his lesson not to set it in that deep as we're 3 to go in the stage. Mr. Trackbar has kind of just said, I'm done for the day. I'm going to put it in cruise control. But as the second place is still battling on, as the lap cars will play a factor. 2 to go at the line for Mr. Trackbar, as it looks like Slidejob is battling with Rise now in the 4 car to maybe make another lapper defend against Word, but Word is attacking hard as it's 3 to go. Those are 2 to go. Sorry, 2 to go in the stage, if I'm not wrong. But this battle for a second is very interesting, Gavin.
Yeah, it's white flag right now, and you know the Track Bar has this stage basically in the bag. I mean, but right now this is the battle that we're looking at. 2 versus 10, and Rise is definitely playing a factor. He's getting all over that 2 of Slidejob. Ward Burton, though, he's not going to let him go without a fight. He gets pinched all the way down. Ward Burton gets into him there, and it looks like that's going to be Slidejob's way of winning second place over Ward Burton. He manages to keep the spot, so Slidejob will finish second. Ward Burton will finish third. And it looks like, guys, you know it. I mean, this is going to be a tough race for anyone second back. I mean, you know, Word and Slidejob want to get up there with Mr. Track Bar, but Track Bar is just extremely fast. And I'm just skeptical if these guys have anything up their sleeve for Mr. Track Bar. It's going to be an extremely tough feat. But is it a task too tall for Word Burton and Mr. Slidejob to try and stay with the 24? I mean, he's just been able to cut through traffic. He's gotten up front. He's probably going to stay there. So, I mean, this race, I mean, it's just going to be extremely close battling, and you're going to see lap cars play a factor. They already have here at Eldora, and it's just, oh my goodness, it's been one heck of a race already. So, back up to the lead. It looks like Track Bar is going to keep your lead here. We're going to flip to Mr. Track Bar.
As he reloads starting green in the third and final stage. I believe it's a 50 lapper or 100 lapper. I'm not sure how long this one is. But as we go into turn 1, look, 56. Thank you for my in-race report there. As what will Mr. Track Bar do, trying to really do anything over excessive to try to do anything as he is battling with Word. That battle continues to wage since the second stage as he drives it in and tries to take the lead from Track Bar, but here comes Word on the inside. What will Track Bar do going into turn 3? Slidejob is there. Track Bar is on the outside, but he has that outside momentum that he will use to lead the lap, Gavin.
Yeah, Track Bar definitely has a hot piece on him, and you know that Mr. Slidejob knows that. That's why he's trying to get as much contact to slow that 24 down as he can. And maybe that's just a piece of the aggressive driving we've seen from the 2, but don't look now. The 10 now is on attack of the 2. You got a three-way battle for the lead right now, and Slide Job right now holds on to the lead, but they're edging each other out every time, and it looks like the two might have got a little tight. 24 back out front to the lead. Does the two have anything for him? We're going to see as everyone's about single filed out now, and the 24 running in first place. Your 2 car and 10 car battling for second again, just like they were at the end of stage 2. This battle has been there for a while, and now it's just back to how it was as the 24 gets into the wall. Doesn't seem like much of a big deal there as he doesn't lose a lot of time, but the 2 and the 10 dooring each other through 3 and 4. They're side by side at the line, but our leader remains to be Mr. Trackbar.
Yes, indeed, as I'm just kind of watching this as Trippy has found his way, the Polster has found his way up and forth. He's had a terrible race. He got caught up in a wreck again by the 2 of Mr. Slide Job. And then that lag of T-Glass, he was kind of caught in both of those, so he's now finally finding his way back inside the top 5 in the 4th position right behind them. So the battle between Trippy and Mr. Slide Job is going to be interesting to watch. Hopefully we can come out clean after there's no cautions from that one. But right now everyone's trying to find a way to gain on Mr. Trackbar right now, Gavin.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see if any of these guys have anything for Mr. Trackbar and Abyss. We haven't done this yet today. I think it's time for a Circle B Diecast sponsored Crank It Up. Let's do it.
It's easy.
Alrighty, we're back. It looks like the 10 car's not lost a lot of time like last stage. The 10 wasn't able to cut through the traffic just like Trackbar was, but he hasn't had any traffic to really cut through, so he's been able to put all of his focus on what's ahead of him, and Ward Burton looking to really close in on the 24 of Mr. Trackbar here tonight. And you know, I've noticed these two guys right here looking like your favorites of this. I want to know, who is your pick to win tonight's race?
Right now, I want to say Mr. Trackbar, but that's going to be, I would say that's kind of stealing the easy pick. I'm going to say maybe Trippy, if a caution can follow his way, he can maybe find a way to steal a win away from Ward and Mr. Trackbar. But right now, it's looking like a Trackbar game, but I'm going to put all my eggs on Trippy.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Trippy Tricks definitely has a top 3 car tonight, and I know I'm going to go the same route you did. I think that Trackbar is the obvious pick here. He's really just showed out all night tonight, but I want to pick the next best thing, and that's going to be Ward Burton. I think Ward Burton, if he has a caution or maybe he's starting to pick up speed, he'll have a great shot at winning this race. I mean, he's shown that he is definitely right there with Mr. Trackbar. I know it doesn't look like it on track, but I can guarantee you these guys are putting up similar lap times, and they're showing similar lines and running similar consistency.
as a caution is out. Ooh. Looks like the war between the 2 and the 50 is still going, Gavin. This
Yeah,
is an
this
interesting battle to watch.
this drama has been going on since stage 1, and it has no end in sight. I mean, it's just these two guys are not letting each other race at all. They're more worried about wrecking each other than racing the track, I feel like, Abyss. It's just every time you turn around, these two guys are trading pain. It's a wonder that you can even see the numbers on on the side of their trucks. I mean, it's just insane.
Well, Gavin, I gotta
Trading
say, it is
paint
a Friday
every
night,
time they
and
get
it
near
is the
each
Truck
other.
Series on dirt. So we got to see some tempers flare.
Yeah, the Eldora definitely letting people's emotions get the best of them tonight.
Was
As
track
you
bar
can
pitted?
tell, the 50 and the 2 is it look. Yeah, the 24 did pit. We're
So
gonna
it's
see if he can drive through the field.
So it's Word and Trippy going into turn 1 now as the 2. I don't know where the 2 is. Oh, he's on the 4th. As Word kind of goes a little shortcut it. As here comes Trippy on the outside. Will Trippy have a good run? Doesn't look like he's gonna have a good run off the corner. Word will take over this first position. But what will Track Bar do? Because I don't think that business is truly done with until it's done with. But right now, Word leads as here comes Trippy on the inside, Gavin, going into turn number 3.
Yeah, and then, you know, we got a guy in third. That's Jay Royster in the 34. He's running right there with him. I noticed he's been having a quiet race. I believe it is his first race, and he's had a really quiet race, but I believe he's gotten good stage points all race long. I don't think I've seen him outside of the top 5, so he's been doing really good. But oh my goodness, that orange and black Hooter Chevrolet, you see it. It is just running through this field. I mean, nobody has anything to slow down Track Bar. He's already back inside the top 5 and 4th. That just shows you the speed that this guy has, and as long as the 10 and the 10 and the 50 keep battling, it's going to be tough for these two to hang on as the laps continue to dwindle down. The 24 running the high side with 30 laps left in this contest. The 24 is using that high side and gaining a ton of time on these leaders.
Yeah, Eden Ward is using that sideline to perfection right now on Trippy, as Trippy is yet to lead a lap since he's been battling Word on that inside line, but Word is hitting his marks perfectly, as I think Trippy might have found something. Maybe they're still side by side. Will Trippy send it on, try to do a slide job? I think not. I think he'll have the lead for the first time off the corner. Yes, he will. Trippy will finally take his position back at the lead. But here comes the 24. Man, this man is flying like it's no one's job. I think everyone's just trying to hold him off, but they're not doing a good job. So I think Word's really saying, get out of here as fast as you can, Trippy. None of us can stop him, Gavin.
Yeah, I mean, Trippy Tricks right now runs in the lead, but you never know what's going to happen. And Track Bar restarted 9th, and he took only, I believe, 3 to 4 laps to get back up to where he is. So, I mean, he's been really quick to get right there to the bumper of the 50, who hopefully tries to hold him off. Track Bar could easily run away with this as he gets to the inside. They're door banging out of 2 side by side for the race lead. The 24's got that preferred line. Can the 50 make anything of it? As the 50 tries to hold him off, but Track Bar might just be too much. He looks for the crossover on the inside. Here comes Trippy now on the bottom. Track Bar on the high side. Trippy Tricks going to get the crossover on Track Bar, but can he hang on? Track Bar's been really good at running those consistent laps. The 50 right there hanging in with the 24. They're side by side through 3, side by side through 4. These guys even right now as they come to the line. Track Bar's going to have the inches to get that lap led, but as they're side by side, we'll see if these two continue to battle here at Eldora this.
Well, Gavin, I'm just shocked that the 50 has any doors or bumpers left after what's happened to him all race long. Either contact or wreck. I think this car would have had the doors off, but by now I thought he would be getting a four-wheeler and just kind of driving around here at this kind of moment. But right now he still has the doors and everything intact, as he is now under attack under Word once again. This time the roles are reversed. Word on the inside, Trippy on the outside, and Trippy will lose second as here. As Ward kind of hits the wall there a little bit as Track Bar just pulled away, Gavin.
Yeah, Track Bar running the high line surprisingly here, maybe trying new things. He's up in the lead right now, and Ward Burton chasing him down the best he can. Trippy Tricks fell from first now, looking for the battle for third. Jay Royster right on his inside. Is going to be a tough battle for him as these two look to battle hard for this third position. Jay Royster's got it right now, but can Trippy Tricks make the outside work like he needs to, Abyss?
Oh, and guess what, Gavin? Guess who's right next to each other once again? The 2 and the 50. This is going to be interesting. Hopefully a caution does not come out, but here comes the 54 of T-Class to butt in on this situation, but never mind. Trippy takes it in and takes the spot away. It's the 50 and the 2. What's going to happen? It looks like Trippy's going to try to give some respect on the 2. Going to try to get beside him and take the position of fourth, Gavin.
Yeah, Trippy Tricks back up into fourth. This battle continues to heat up. You see the 2 try to swipe at the 50's bumper. That's going to cost the 2 another spot. So now the 2 moves back out of the top 5 to 6. And the 50 is going to remain safe and sound here in fourth. The 20 running the wall there, running the K Harvick fan line, one might say. As we see that he goes a lap down there. The 50, though, running in a solid P4. He's got to look to see if he can get back up to where he was running right there behind Jay Royster. Back up front, though, you got the 24 of Mr. Track Bar, who is still in the lead and in command. He's been basically in command all race long, and I don't know if anybody has anything for him. Hopefully our picks do, so we aren't wrong, but, you know, the 24 has just been on rails here on dirt at Eldora.
Yes, indeed. It's just been the 24 show all day long right now, but Ward is still in contention. He still is a good truck right now. The question is, he doesn't have that long run speed. As I believe Trippy Tricks is around and lagged hard. Poor Trippy. In that case, right now, I think he's won. Hopefully, it doesn't just ricochet him into the third position. But Trippy losing all of that track position. I think he's now outside the top 10. But I could be wrong. Bad hook for Trippy right there, man. There goes my pick, Gavin, but your pick is still in the thick of things.
That's unfortunate there. It sounds like game just froze right across the start-finish line, and I know that happens sometimes to me, and my internet isn't bad. I know it isn't, but you know, it's just a part of the game. The servers sometimes just don't want to be nice, and they're not being nice to the 50, and they weren't nice to the 54 earlier, as we know. But back up front, Mr. Track Bar continuing the lead here at our favorite dirt oval, Eldora. He's still running up front, but Ward Burton still in hot pursuit. Jay Royster running in third. Fourth, I believe, is Mr. Slide Job, and I think fifth is T-Glass if it hasn't changed. But Track Bar, man, he is putting on a dirt race clinic for the rest of these drivers to follow. I mean, he is just doing an absolute stupendous job here tonight, as he does everywhere else. And Track Bar continues to lead with 10 laps left, about a dime worth of laps of this.
Yes, indeed. As I think right now, he's just kind of taunting the field by saying, hey, I'm going to run the high line a couple laps. Let's see what you guys can do, as no one still has anything for this man. He's hitting precision after precision. Again, Gavin, he is one of the best to ever play Heat 5, and he's showing it here at Eldora with no one to challenge. This man has just been flying on wheels. I'm not sure if this truck is legal, but we'll have to check it after tonight's done, because I think this man is just too far gone, Gavin.
Yeah, this 24 will definitely be in post-race inspection, I can guarantee it, because he's making the high line fast. I mean, oh my goodness, the 24 is just gone like a rocket ship here at Eldora. I mean, he's just had one heck of a race, and he's almost completed the perfect sweep of the dirt oval Eldora. But Ward Burton still running in second, and right behind him, Jay Royster still in third, but soon to be under attack from the 2 of Mr. Slyjob. We're going to catch up with the 50 here, who is now behind the 6 of Asylums. I believe that's for position, running 10th. So he's got a lot of cars to pass, but I think he's got plenty of time to do it. He's got about 5 cars in front of him. At least might be able to salvage 6th out of this if he can keep catching these guys in front of him. I mean, that's just a lot of positions right there that he can get. And you know just as well as I do, Abyss, this 50 truck is very fast and fast enough to get by these guys.
Yes, indeed, right now. So, yeah, the 50 has had a tough day. I mean, I don't know what this car hasn't been shown. I mean, I would say just to make sure to finish at the top 10 is a victory for this team. He's been struggling all race long as it's a top 5 truck, but I mean, he's either been killed by lag, or like it's killed him, or he's been killed by a driver. It's just been a thin, a bad omen for the 50 car after his win. I think the racing gods have kind of punished him for some reason for getting a win. As we're coming to believe the 5 to go right now, the 3 to go. I'm an idiot. I was close. 3 to go this time by as he continues to run either the Larson line or the K Harvick line, whatever you want to call it, going down into this rest of the race. As word has not really lost sight of him, but it just kind of says, okay, you've kind of beaten me coming to 2 to go. I'm just going to sit back and chill and kind of finish off in the second position. Gavin.
Coming down to 2 laps remaining in this Eldora contest. Mr. Track Bar putting on a clinic here tonight. He has led almost every lap. If he wouldn't have pit, he probably would have. He's been doing so good here tonight. Came from last, or second to last, I believe. The first white flag, you see it waving. Mr. Track Bar takes the white flag now down into turn number 1. Here he goes. He's going to run the high line. He's been doing a heck of a job running that high line there and managing to still stay in front. That 24 Hooters machine is extremely fast through 3 and now through turn number 4. Mr. Track Bar now on the front straightaway. Nobody is able to contest Mr. Track Bar here as he will win at Eldora.
Man, that was a fantastic race as Ward Burton will take up second. And Jay Royster, in his first ever start here in the Truck Series at Eldora, will be taking home the 3rd position. Congratulations to him. He's had a fantastic, quiet race and will finish inside the top 3. That's not a bad place to finish on your first start, Gavin.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have told me that Jay Royster would only have lost to 2 of the best drivers in NASCAR heat, I would have told you you're crazy because I've never seen him race. But this guy, Jay Royster, really came out here to impress and show what he's got tonight, and he's done one heck of a job leading a clean race, but also finishing in the top 3. We'll get to hear from him here shortly. Pretty impressive of Jay Royster to be able to get a top 3 out of that. So congratulations to him and the rest of our drivers here for a great race tonight. For the most part, it was very clean and very, very entertaining. As Mr. Track Bar will come home your winner. We'll get our top 3 in the party here shortly. But until then, we're going to go take a quick little break and try to get these top 3 in the party. I can. And it looks like we got all 3 of our drivers here. If I'm not mistaken, I believe I will be taking Jay Royster, who I believe it is his first race, so that's pretty impressive for him to come out here and get a top 3 in his first race here with us. So, especially on a tough track like Eldora, I mean, that's just extremely impressive. Jay Royster, if you can, please check the box up in the top of the party, and do you got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing great, and I honestly, I'm super impressed. You came out here tonight and raced probably one of the cleanest races I've seen so far, and you put it in 3rd. Tell me how you did it there. I mean, you had a blazing fast truck and had extreme consistency throughout this race.
Yeah, I just try to stay out of trouble. Some guys were battling in front of me, and I just kind of stayed back and let that happen. shoot the gaps when I could and make the best of the opportunities I possibly could. And I definitely had a fast truck. Actually went with the wrong setup. I went with a qualifying setup instead of the race setup. So if I went with the race setup, I might have had something for a word or track bar. But first race here in third place. Can't complain about it at all.
Heck yeah, I mean, podium is always something to be happy with, and you said you went with a qualifying setup and managed to finish third. I can only imagine the speed that your actual race setup would have had, but do you have anything that you might have been able to do to possibly close the gap and maybe improve your position or even get a win with the tough competitors like Word, Burton, and Track Bar?
I didn't have much for them. I had I had a little bit of a struggle coming out of the corners. It was a little bit loose, so they were gaining on me time there. The only way I would have caught them is if they had caught up to each other and raced a little bit. Um, that's kind of what happened with T-Glass and Slide Job, and that's how I was able to get around them as they were started racing, and I took advantage of it and come out third. So.
Well, I mean, third, I mean, that's an awesome way to get your season kicked off, and congratulations on it. Is there anybody that you want to thank for your third tonight, your third place finish?
I just, I want to thank the guys that helped me out make the setup, Rich Akala and Local White Boy, and those guys have helped me out tremendously the last couple months. So I appreciate those guys, and I appreciate you all commentating the race and taking care of everything, and I appreciate everybody for a good, clean race.
Well, that is awesome. Abyss, do you have anything to ask for Jay Royster?
Honestly, I got scared when he said he used a qualifying setup. I got a little scared. That is more respect for me, my friend. Congratulations on your third place finish. Hopefully, we get to see you in victory lane in the next couple of weeks, my friend. I'm very happy to see you with this third place, my man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
As I will be going on to Word Burton, you got a copy, my good friend.
Mike, unfortunately I do, Abyss.
Where you had a fantastic truck today, went from the back to second, and you're second in all the stages, even the finish. How was your truck all race long?
Well, considering we treated it like a quote-unquote modern cup race from what we see during this pandemic era, I would say we did pretty good. I mean, zero laps of practice coming tonight and just taking the setup off the rip and pretty much running. And to be honest, Abyss, wasn't much expectations, coming in because initially I wasn't supposed to make the race. I'd signed up, but luckily I got home early, so I kind of got lucky there to be able to race. But we had a fun race racing through the field. Both Brooks and I did. And listen, I mean, Brooks is already the best in this game as it is, and it's hard enough to beat him on an oval. When you come over here to dirt, where he's 10 times even faster, it's not easy at all. I mean, the only thing I could have maybe done differently a bit tonight, other than having a lot of fun driving through the field, is maybe not miss a shift on that final start and just try to break away instead of being side by side with Trippy. I mean, there was nothing much I can do once the 24 got on by. So it was a fun race overall, but definitely definitely got hectic at times. But got to give credit to everyone in the field. Everyone did a pretty solid job after a couple crashes early, spreading out and seeing a lot of green flag racing.
Yes, indeed, man. Do you think if there was one more caution coming to like 5 to go that you could have done anything to beat Track Bar?
Other than drive him like how he wouldn't want to be drafted, absolutely not. I don't think there wasn't much you can do. The faster car was out in front multiple times today, or faster truck that is, or truck car as Toasted likes to call it. But I mean, we were good enough for second. That's, in my opinion, what we had from the drop of the green flag, and that's what we got. So, I guess to answer your question a bit, essentially, no, I don't think I'm going to add anything for the 24.
And is there anyone you would like to thank for your second place finish today?
I do want to thank again all the truck admins. Casey did an awesome job tonight, fighting through a little bit of an illness. T-Glass, first week finally since graduation, being able to show up as well as Drew. did an awesome job getting communications out and so on. Sideways was watching as well tonight, as well as Toasted. And I want to thank you guys as well in the booth. And I do want to give out also a little bit of a shout out tonight as well. We saw Jay Royster, you just talked to a few moments ago, his first race here in the Truck Series and shining out already with a really good run. Also, Banana Squad, I believe this was his first start as well, as he joined earlier this week, and he showed speed at times as well, being up there and competitive. So, a bunch of new young faces starting to join this Truck Series, and I think that this division, granted, they may not be racing essentially for a championship come a few weeks, is going to continue to grow and find a lot more talent that could be very essential coming with future news towards season 2 in a couple weeks.
Yes, indeed. And again, congratulations to Banana Man. I'm going to call him Banana Man. I like that better. For getting a fantastic race. I believe he finished in either the 10th or 9th position, if I'm not wrong. 8th. Okay, 8th sounds a little bit better. Gavin, is there anything you would like to say to Word?
Well, no, other than congratulations on the second, and honestly, for not having any practice, that was one heck of a race you put up there, Tim. Really impressed by your performance and how you were able to keep track bar within reach.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not easy at all. Keep that 24 in reach. Once he's out in front, you have to put it all together. And I mean, when he's running 7s and the rest of the field's running 9s and 0s, he was the man to beat. So you got to give it to Brooks again. Then now 2 for 2. He won at Iowa earlier this year, and obviously, again, he's not necessarily competing for a playoff spot, doing part-time role, but showing up and dominating. That's Brooks' expectation. Got to give him a lot of credit. He's done that to this point.
Yeah, I mean, Track Bar definitely is an extremely difficult driver to beat, and if you can beat him, you've done something right. And just to stay within reach, you got something under that truck. And Tim, just again, congratulations here on another podium. You're doing so great, and you're racing here in RHRL. Really impressed.
Yeah, thank you so much. We'll see you in a truck race for Talladega as well next week.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, Abyss, are you ready to move on to our winner? I'll let you take Mr. Track Bar first, because I think I got the winner last time, so I don't think you've gotten the winner yet, so you can have Mr. Track Bar first.
Man, I haven't talked to this man in a minute. Mr. Track Bar, are you going to copy my good old friend?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, but man, how is that truck? I mean, where'd you get it? I got to ask, because that truck was just on rails. It could not be denied tonight, my man.
It's just one of the trucks you rolled out of Track Bar Chassis Incorporated, man. I always work on stuff my own. That's all I've always prided myself on, and yeah, it's pretty fast. It took me a while to get used to the dirt setups for a hot minute, but I mean, I figured some stuff out. And the funny thing is, Royster said he ran his qualifying set tonight. I also ran mine too as well, which I only had like 8 laps of practice. Didn't realize that the custom race was the custom qualify was the custom race, so it's all good. I mean, it was just a little bit slower in the long run what it normally is. I fell off the high 9s there, and then just a little bit slower, but the pace was still there. It was still fun to drive. It was just a little bit looser.
Man, we kind of joked up here that we were going to have to, look at your car extra tightly because we don't know what's going on with it. But man, it just seems like you just brought the best chassis that you could, man. Was there any way you were not going to get this one tonight?
I mean, I could have got wrecked by some of the lap cars, but most of them are pretty courteous for the most part, and I want to thank all of them for that. But I mean, anything could have happened. Like a wreck on a restart when I restarted in the back, like those few times I did, and just no caution come out and I'd be 5 seconds back. Now that could have played into it, but thankfully it didn't. Thankfully we come in pretty unscathed and maneuvered our way to the front without much incident at all. Like I try to pass everybody as clean as possible. I just try to keep my car pinned to the bottom. If I was on the outside, I try to just get it wound up on the outside and not hit anybody. And I think we did a pretty good job for Eldora, which is really hard to pass that. So that's a feat of his own.
I mean, speaking of the outside, your truck can make time on the outside bottom line. Where couldn't your truck make time tonight?
Probably against the wall if I Lightning McQueen did. I don't think that'd have been a really good idea. But yeah, the truck could run up high pretty good for the most part. It's a groove. I mean, if you get up too high, it'll hurt your momentum getting into the corner, into the center, but you'd have a run coming off. Like, for example, if I ran a high side in 3 and 4 like I was doing at the end, just lollygagging around. Like you come off at the start finish line about 96 miles an hour compared to running the bottom, you only be about 90 miles an hour there. So it's like a slingshot effect, like type of deal. So if I'd have had somebody on my inside and they were just a little bit slower than me, I'd be able to still keep them just running against that cushion up there. I was trying to Christopher Bell it the best I could.
Well, you did the best job you could, and it was pretty entertaining all race long. Man, is there anyone you'd like to thank for your victory tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank you and Gavin for putting on this show tonight for these guys and everybody else watching. I know Marty Hensley's out there watching. He watches everything. Rot NASCAR. Shout out to you, buddy. I want to thank Asylums, Word, Trippy, everybody back behind the scenes, the Red Hot Racing League for letting me come out and have a little fun with them. I don't get to do this often, and times I do, they graciously welcome me open arms here, and I appreciate it. It's a fun group to race with. Tim and all them's like really good drivers and stuff, future pro league drivers, and it's just, like I said, just fun to come out here and run with the boys.
Well, again, congratulations, Gavin. Do you have anything to say to Mr. Jackbar?
Well, I think you covered it all, but man, just a dominant performance by you, Track Bar, and I didn't expect anything less. We know you're the best to do it out here. We said it multiple times this stream, and I just want to say congratulations on another dominating performance.
Thank you, brother. Like I said, thank you for what you do for this league and for other leagues in general, man. You guys do a great job.
Well, on that note, Gavin, I think again, Track Bar, again, congratulations. Hopefully, we get to see you dominate once again. I believe you might be here next week.
Probably more than likely. I might show up for these next few events just to try to make a late playoff charge. Like what Tim said, I thought about it earlier. I've only had one start, 60 points. Got another 60 here. I still have a mathematical chance of making a playoff, so we might just do it just to have a little fun, just to see if we can make it off of 4 starts. That's going to be fun. We're going to try. We'll be here next week.
That is a very interesting claim, and it sounds like a fun one right there. Hope to see that happen. I really hope to see that, Gavin.
Yeah, that's going to be one heck of a statistic to look at. How many 60-point races can Track Bar accumulate before playoffs?
I didn't think that was going to be a stat, but it's going to be a fun one to rack up. Right now he's 2 for 2.
Alrighty, Abyss. Sadly, this is coming to a close, but before we go, just want to say you come back here tomorrow around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You get to watch, I believe it's the Xfinity Series at Dover, one of my favorite tracks for the Xfinity Series to go to. Nothing short of action will be at Dover tomorrow. It's going to be one heck of a race, as it always is, especially in the Xfinity cars. They drive so good there. But I also forgot to mention, but I haven't forgot to mention, go down there to Circle B Diecast. It's your choice store for diecasts, circlebdiecast.com, for all your diecasts and motorsports needs. They got everything. They got drag racing, sprint cars, super late models. I mean, you can get just about anything, especially NASCAR. I know we all love NASCAR, and especially if you're watching this, I'm sure you do. When you go down and purchase anything over $20 in the United States, you can get free shipping by typing in code RHRL. And, free shipping is something very important, especially for me. If you get a big purchase, it's going to cost you a lot. And that shipping, especially if they have to put it in a big package, shipping can get overwhelming at times. So be sure to put in code RHRL and get your free shipping for purchases over $20. Abyss, any last thoughts or comments before we close tonight?
Hopefully Trippy's truck can get home safe, and we can see how much debris is actually on the track. Because I mean that truck, I think, lost everything but the steering wheel and the tires on it. But besides that, I'm pretty good. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen at Dover tomorrow night. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting action. Like I said, tomorrow night at the same Twitch channel right here, you will get to see Xfinity action at Dover, Red Hot Racing League Xfinity Series action. It's going to be one heck of a race and one of my personal favorite tracks to go to. So it's going to be really fun. And Abyss, it's been fun tonight watching these truckers sling mud around Eldora. You love to see it, and you love what Eldora brings. So for Dark Abyss, I've been Gavin or Glixon, and it's been great out here tonight, and we hope to see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night.